He's bro, what you?
We live, bro.
I mean, he doing good, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Look your boy up.
Yeah, buddy. You know what I'm saying? They be having higher aspirations for themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of them, they struggle with the idea of working for somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
But I feel him on like his image thing though. I feel that.
yeah, it comes with a lot.
Yeah, I feel that 100%.
Comes with a lot. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are watching in, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints that are out in the world, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent, that they might live. Right? Let's go ahead and get right to it. We left off last week on John chapter 9. Let's go to John chapter 10. You know what I'm saying? Remember Yahushua, he was dealing with the man that was blind. You know what I'm saying? Spitting a little bit of dirt, rubbed it on his eye, then the man could see. You know what I'm saying? Man was an outcast of society. So when the Pharisees started questioning him, he had a little smart mouth talking to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, all I know is I was blind and now I can see. I don't know the rest of this, if he a sinner, all this other stuff, I don't know nothing about that. I just know a man named Yahushua spit on the ground, hooked my eyes up, and I can see. Y'all should know. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all don't know? You know what I'm saying? So they went back and forth. Yahushua at the very end of it, you know what I'm saying? He went and he said, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, he was like, really? You know what I'm saying? It's all y'all that's blind. You know what I'm saying? Pharisees looked at him and was like, oh, are we blind too? You know what I'm saying? Yahushua said, well, you know what I'm saying? If you were blind, you'll be able to see. But since you say you see, you know what I'm saying? Since you say you see.
If you were blind, you'd have no sin.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But since you say you see, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So now, sin remains. Right? And that's what it comes down for. It's like we have to, remember we talked about how Yahushua said, you know, you got to follow him like the little kid. And that's what it comes down to, man. Sometimes we think these people be smart, bro. You know what I'm saying? There be a lot of intelligent and smart people in this world, and that's what messes them up because they think that they're so smart and they try to outsmart God. And what happens is you sitting here trying to understand something that you haven't gotten all the information to yet, and so it requires trust. And we see this, although it seems like, oh, you just letting this, the white man wrote the Bible and you just, you know what I'm saying, letting them control your thought. That's how it feels, and that's what caused people to break against it. But if you think about it throughout your life, this is a logical concept, right? It's a logical concept. That's why children, they have to trust first before they understand all these things. They learn about it as they go, but they have to trust. Like, listen, trust me, this is the color blue. There ain't no way to prove to nobody that the color blue is the color blue, right? Like, if it came down to it, if I wanted to teach my son that every time he sees blue, it's yellow, that's easy. It's not until somebody come out and he go out into the world, somebody be like, no, that's not yellow, that's blue. And now it becomes an argument because it's like, well, my dad told me it's yellow. You tell me it's blue. Now imagine somebody else giving him a totally, no, it's actually pink. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these different people looking at the same thing and calling it something different, and that's where we are right now. So now it comes down. It's the book that we talking about with the words written in the description. We're not just talking about a color that is no way to prove, right? You can't really prove whether something is blue. You have to have an agreement that it's blue. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with color, everybody has to agree that it's a color. There's no way that I can prove to you that a color is one color versus another color other than the fact that we agree with it and we all see the same thing. If I'm colorblind and I see green and you see blue, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way what I'm going to do with that. I got to take majority rules. We talking about the book, though. People treating the book like it's just some abstract thing that whoever's looking at it defines it. That's not the case. It defines itself. It's written. It says it right there. So now we have to take the time to say, you know what? Let's make sure we understand it as it's written. It's right there for us. Right? Otherwise, you people make a darn mess of us. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they doing. They make a darn mess of us. Let's go to It's John chapter 10. Give me verse 1. Let's see what the book says. John chapter 10, verse 1.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that enters not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
Yep.
But he that enters by the door is...
Y'all gotta understand what that mean, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people, bro, that's offended at this concept. A lot of this stuff boggles my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just, because it's like, and it shouldn't boggle my mind, but it does. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you don't believe the book. But it's like people don't believe the book and then get mad at the book for them not believing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the book is telling you it's only one way to get in. That's it. Like, it's the only way. You got to come through the door. He gave you a parable. Anybody who try to climb up the side is a thief and a robber. That makes sense. Right? I got a house. If you come to my house, you coming through my door. If I catch you coming through my window, that's a signal that you are a thief. Ain't no reason for you to climb through my window. I got a door. If you're going to come through my house, come through the door. Only reason you going through the window because you know you can't get through the door. It's locked. So he's trying to let you know it's only one way in. This is how you identify when a person ain't really coming in. That makes sense when it's a house. That's why he tried to give you a house. People don't like the idea that you're trying to tell me you're God. I mean, it's the only way. Like, well, yeah. That's like getting offended like, oh no, you gotta take a boat. Like, you can't drive to Hawaii. There's no way to drive to it. That's like, Hawaii's so great that I can't drive to it. Like, no, I mean, it's just factual. Like, you just can't do it. You don't have the ability to do it. But people don't see it that way. Like, this is just a factual thing. It's the only way to become righteous. Through the man. Like, that's the only way to do it. It ain't no like he making it this way because he being selfish. It's just like that just happens to be the only way to do it. I can't pretend like it's another way just to make you feel better. That's stupid. So you mean out of all the cultures in the world, you mean the Hebrew Bible is the only Bible or the only source of truth? Well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't make it that way. When it comes to salvation. You know what I'm saying? Uppercase truth. Uppercase T. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna get, that's what it is. You can't, like, you know what I'm saying? So how do you approach this if you're somebody who's skeptical of it? You disprove it or you roll with it. But you don't, like, just make a philosophical, like, because I disagree with this fundamentally or I disagree with the concept, I reject the whole thing. Like, no, like, is it factual or is it not? Is there another, are you proposing that there's another, I believe every culture has their way. Okay, I understand that's what you believe, but like, why do you believe that? Do you have anything to make you think, like, does anything in the world work that way? Just because I'm from another culture, I get another way to approach this. There's still, no matter, throughout all of the world, there's one way to do things. If you think about like what's natural. It's only one way. I don't care how gay people get, how much trans they get. It's only one way to have babies.
Yep.
That's it. The best they can do is try to take your mechanical parts, take it in the lab, and then simulate the one way to have babies. It's still the same process. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to do it externally where you ain't got to do it because they creepy.
That's crazy.
But it's only one way. You got to take the darn uteri, you know what I'm saying? And you take the darn other stuff. And you make that thing happen. It's important that these people like see it, and it's like, we can't get offended at factual things. Because otherwise you're just setting yourself up for failure. Somebody pull up. People trying to get here early. Keep going. Let's see. EJ, you come up anyway. You a thief and you a robber. I got that.
But he that entered in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out.
Mm-hmm.
And when he puts forth his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice.
That's right.
And a stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
All right. So he's letting you know, like, this is how we gonna identify those who are gonna be saved in the end and those who are not. It's like, man, listen, they gonna follow my voice. They gonna follow the shepherd's voice. The man gonna walk and he gonna speak, and his sheep gonna know his voice. And the other sheep, they ain't gonna know his voice, so they gonna do whatever they want to do. So like that's how we identify it. That's why it's important for us to learn the man's voice, to understand the book, to understand when he's talking and what he's talking about, and not follow for all this trickery that's out in the world that people are trying to tell us. All this, oh, well, Jesus wouldn't have done this, and Jesus was done. These people don't know what Jesus would have did. They don't even know who he is. We trying to teach y'all something. Y'all so busy, y'all got this image of Jesus in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Got this image of like, you know what I'm saying, this white Jewish guy. You know what I'm saying? Like just like talking to you and being nice and doing everything he can to accommodate you and every emotion that you have. It's like, no, that's not the book. This man didn't care nothing about a person's emotions. Do you understand that? Like this man didn't care anything about your emotions. He was so, I mean, this is the most focused man I ever seen in my life. All the man did is march forward like, man, listen, I got a mission to do. I got a mission to do. Why are you thinking about that? Why are you thinking that way? Let me help you think about that. Let me tell you, we got to feed the souls. Y'all think about food, we got to feed the souls. Let's see, keep going.
This parable spake Yahshua unto them, but they understood not what things they were, which he spake unto them.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Yahshua unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and find pasture. The thief comes not but for to kill, and to steal, and to kill, and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
Mm-hmm.
I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
But he that is a hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own sheep the sheep are not, sees the wolf coming, and leaves the sheep, and flees.
Mm-hmm.
And the wolf catches them, and scatters the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
The hireling flees because he is a hireling, and cares not for the sheep.
All right, so he's saying, basically what he's trying to explain is, it's different if I hire somebody. You know what I'm saying? If I hire somebody to keep my sheep, they looking like, okay, I'm getting $12 an hour for this. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 more minutes to the end of my shift. Then some wolf come about to kill all the sheep. And the hireling know, like, well, if I stick around, he'll kill me too. This wolf will kill me too. So he got to wait. He got to be like, man, this man's sheep, this ain't my sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like, this my boss's sheep, this ain't my sheep. And I get $12 an hour. I mean, I could jet and I can go get me another job and we'd be all right. He had to figure out his own sheep. Them ain't my sheep. Like, I'm not taking a loss from these sheep. So he's telling you, like, the hireling might jet. He's like, but not me. These is my sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my livelihood. This is everything I got. You can't take my sheep. So he's looking like, if my sheep are gone, that's my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's everything for me. So he's like, that's how he look at it. He look at it like, man, listen, I'm going to die for my sheep. He's trying to show you the difference of, like, if, you know what I'm saying, a prophet came. You know what I'm saying? He might have sent the prophet in the past. He's like, yeah, although the prophet mean well, and he is there to take care of you. Oh, this ain't the same. It's a step above. He's like, no, I'm here for, I'm going to die for you. The other prophet, they died, sure, but they didn't die for y'all. All these other people that came, they acting like they going to help. You know what I'm saying? The one that wasn't prophet, he's like, yeah, I mean, well, I put kings on you, but they died, but they didn't die for y'all. He's like, no, me, I'm going to die for you. Watch this.
I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine.
Mm-hmm.
As the Father knows me, even so I know the Father.
That's
and I
important,
lay down
man.
my life for the sheep.
That's important. You notice he gets to talking about he knows the sheep and is known by the sheep. Goes both ways. Then he draws a parallel. He said, listen, I know the Father and the Father knows me. It gotta go both ways. It gotta go both ways. People don't know the Most High God, I guarantee you. And the Most High God don't know them either. That's just how it goes. So we have to, like, what part of that is going to change? What comes first, chicken or the egg? We got to put forth all the effort to be like, okay, but let me understand the man. According to what John 6 say. We ain't got to get it.
Why is that even a question?
What?
The chicken or the egg? Like, I get why they say it, but I'm saying, like, why is that even something
Who cares?
hard to figure out? Yeah, like,
No, it's an interesting question though. Like, what came first, the chicken
obviously
or the egg?
the chicken, because the chicken has to have an egg. What came first? The
All
man.
right, but where'd the chicken come from?
Most High God.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Like the man came
How
first.
you know he didn't make the egg first though?
Nah, he didn't make the egg.
How you know?
Because that boy Noah put them things on the boat.
Yeah, that was way later.
That's where I'm going with it.
My final answer.
It's the chicken, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Egg can't come first.
I feel like it could have been an egg. Right temperature, right environment. Egg could have hatched yourself. You know what I'm saying? A little chick come out. You know what I'm saying? Teach yourself how, you know what I'm saying? Kind of get around, eat a little worm. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm going with egg.
God created all animals. He said he created the eggs. He said the birds of the air and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He didn't mention egg.
Egg might be in there somewhere. I'll keep going.
And other sheep I have which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Therefore does my Father love me, because I lay down my life that I might take it again. No man takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again.
That's bad, man.
This commandment have
That boy said, I got power. I got power to lay my life down and pick that thing right back up when I feel like it. That's different, man. You know what I mean? People don't understand the mechanism. You gotta appreciate the mechanism, though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, like, you gotta appreciate, like, why is he able to do that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna remember it good, but let's see. Let's try Leviticus 19. It might not be 19 though, but I ain't gonna spend all day looking for it if it ain't it. Let's try Leviticus 19 verse 1. This book is precise. You know what I'm saying? Where people go wrong is they don't think it's as precise as it is, so they think they got to make a whole bunch of extra assumptions. You know what I'm saying? And connect dots that ain't really there. But it's like when you understand how precise this book is, it's like, oh, you ain't got to do all that. All you got to do is keep reading. You know what I'm saying? When you look at how precise it is, like, okay, let me just keep reading because it is going to reveal itself. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 1. Let's see if I... You know
And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy.
Watch this.
You shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am Yahuwah your God.
Watch this.
And if you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings unto Yahuwah, you shall offer it at your own will. It shall be eaten the same day you offer it, and on the morrow. And if aught remain unto the third day, it shall be burnt in the fire. And if it be eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable. It shall not be accepted. Therefore, everyone that eats it shall bear his iniquity, because he has profaned the hallowed thing of Yahuwah, that the soul shall be cut off from among his people. And that soul shall be cut off among his people. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, neither shall you gather the gleanings of your harvest. And you shall not glean your vineyard, neither shall you gather every grape of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am Yahuwah your God. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie.
That's
one
19?
to another. Yeah.
Keep going.
And you shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall
What
you
verse is that?
profane my name. 12.
Goodness gracious, might not be it. Keep going.
You shall not defraud your neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with you until all night, until the morning. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but fear your God. I am Yahuwah. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. You shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But righteous shall you judge your neighbor.
All right, it ain't 19. Let's try Exodus 19. Should be right up at the top.
In the third month, when the children of Israel were gone out of the land of Egypt, the same day they came into the wilderness of Sinai, and they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mountain. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called to him up out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I have done unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings, and brought you into myself. And therefore, if you obey my voice indeed, and keep my
Watch this.
you shall be a peculiar people unto me above all people. All the earth is mine. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before them, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And the people gathered and said, all that the Lord has spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words to the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said to Moses, Lo, I come unto thee on the thick cloud, that people may hear when I speak with thee.
No, that's not it. Give me Galatians. Give me Galatians chapter 4. Goodness gracious, where is it?
What are you looking for?
Galatians 4 got it for sure.
The author and the finisher.
Let's start at 1. It's Galatians chapter 4, verse 1.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he's a child, differs nothing from a servant.
This book here. He said the heir, as long as he's a child, he differs nothing from the servant. Keep going.
Though he be Lord of all.
Though he be Lord of all. So in other words, he's saying to your child, you know what I'm saying? Even if he gonna inherit everything you have, and he gonna be master over everything that you got, as long as that child is a child, ain't no different from darn having a slave. Go get my darn remote like I told you to. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it come down to. Keep going. Let's see.
But is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Even so, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because you are sons, God has sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father. Wherefore you are no more a servant, but a son, and if a son, then an heir of God through the Messiah. Howbeit then, when you knew not God, you did service unto them which by nature are no gods. But now after that you have known God, or rather are known of God, how you turn again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto you desire again to be in bondage. You observe days and months and times and years. I'm afraid of you, lest I have bestowed upon you labor in vain. Brothers, I beseech you, be as I am, for I am as you are. You have not injured me at all. You know how through infirmity of the flesh I preached the gospel unto you at the first. My temptation which was in my flesh you despised not, nor rejected, but received me as an angel of God, even as the Messiah, Yahushua. Where is then the blessedness you spoke of? For I bear you record that if it had been possible, you would have plucked out your own eyes and have given them to me. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? They zealously affect you, but not well. Yea, they would exclude you that you might affect them. But it is good to be zealous, affected always in a good thing, and not only when I am present with you. My little children, of whom I travail in birth again until the Messiah be formed in you. I desire to be present with you now, and to change my voice, for I stand in doubt of you. Tell me, you that desire to be under the law, do you not hear the law? For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, and one by a bondmaid, and other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was born by promise. Which things are an allegory, for these are the 2 covenants, the one from Mount Sinai, which genders the to bondage, which is Hagar. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answers to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem which is above is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Rejoice, you barren that bear not, break forth and cry, thou that travail not. For the desolate has many more children than she which has a husband. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what says the scripture?
He said, what says the scripture?
Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. Chapter 5.
Keep going.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith the Messiah has made us free. Be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Behold, I, Paul, say unto you that if you be circumcised, the Messiah shall profit you nothing. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised that he is a debtor to do the whole law. The Messiah has become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, you are fallen from grace.
Right? So this is where Christians get their stuff from, where it's like, oh, if you keep the law, you got to keep the whole law. So what he's trying to say is circumcision for us, right, started with Abraham. So that's why he went through all the stories. And he talked about Abraham having 2 kids and the children of the province and all that. So circumcision was almost like the baptism, right? What baptism represents to us now is what circumcision represented to us, right? It's almost a similar thing, right? So circumcision was like, if you circumcise, that is a sign that you are part of our people and that you can dwell in our nation and you can walk with us and chill with us. Even if you are serving, you need to be circumcised, right? So in the same way, now that Yahushua's come, he's letting us know that what is the marker for us being one people. He talking to Gentiles, right? The marker now is accepting Yahushua, obeying Yahushua, doing what Yahushua told you to do, period. So now, what he's saying is you have to believe, in order for this thing to work out for you, you have to trust him when he tells you that, right? Yahushua telling you like, yo, you know what I'm saying? All I need from you is to obey my word. He never have a command. Yahushua never issued a commandment saying be circumcised. So it puts the Gentiles in a certain position because now you have our people who are already circumcised, just like Paul. Paul already circumcised. So the Gentiles is like, well, our standing tradition, since we've been a people, have been, you have to be circumcised. So you got our people who we already circumcised. So all we got to do is say, hey, okay, I'm obeying Yahushua now. Cool. But naturally, when Yahushua, because it never came up, Yahushua never talked about circumcision. So naturally, when Yahushua go, it's going to be like, hold on, the Gentiles can get on too? Oh, they got to be circumcised. So Paul looking like, well, who said they got to be circumcised? Well, Abraham said that. He's like, yeah, but Abraham said that under the law. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for sure, they get circumcised and then they get the promise. He's going to explain in a little bit. Then they get the promise of the law. Because what's the promise of the law? Right? He's like, okay, so we talking about the promises of Yahushua. Yahushua say do what he say to get the promises of Yahushua. So the conversation then becomes to the Gentiles, I don't know what Paul's talking about. You got to be circumcised. That's our law. So now it puts the Gentile in a position where they say, oh, wait, I have to be circumcised to be saved. Which means I'm now not trusting Yahushua. So that's what he's trying to explain to him. Look, you doing it, you trying to get saved. And you think you got to do this. As soon as you do that, you become a debtor to the law. Because now you put your trust in the law. Once you do this, he's like, okay, and he'll explain. Watch this. So he said, you become a debtor to the whole law. Watch this.
The Messiah has become of no effect unto you, whosoever of you are justified by the law, you are fallen from grace. For we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. For in Yahushua the Messiah, neither circumcision avails anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith which works by love.
So you see, people will stop at, you get circumcised, you in debt to the whole law. They'll stop there and be like, see, if you try to do the law, you got to do the whole thing, or you in debt to it, or you know what I'm saying, you offended one point, you offended all, and all that stupid stuff that people talk about. But he cleaned it up. He said, anyone who seeks to be what?
Justified.
Justified by the law. The problem is not keeping the law. You know what I'm saying? That the laws are law. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep the law regardless. You know what I'm saying? Even what Yahushua say to us technically originates in the law. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things that Yahushua is commanding specifically. The problem is, do you seek to be justified by the law? Right? Do you understand yourself as, when I'm keeping the law, this is going to get me into the kingdom? Or am I saying, when I'm keeping the law, these are good practices? These are practices that the Most High God set up for me to take care of my carnal body. That's what the law is. The law is carnal. Right? In other words, it takes care of my physical body, my physical being. That's why it tells me what to eat and what not to eat. That's what it tells me how to wash and when to wash. Right? The law is trying to tell me, like, listen, this is how you take care of yourself. This is when you celebrate things. This is all this stuff. Not saying it's not spiritual also, because it is spiritual. Right? But it teaches you how to take care of your physical body. Once you understand that, you say, okay, I'm keeping the law for me, for my physical. This is what the Most High God gave it to me for. He gave it for me so I can celebrate days at the appropriate time. So I can know what and what not to eat. So I can learn what makes me clean, what keeps me healthy. Period. That's my physical body. And then all the laws away from the physical body that's spiritual is passed through Yahushua pretty much. Right? So then Yahushua takes the spiritual part of it. And he said, this is required if you want to be in. So then now I can say, you know what? I'm obeying Yahushua. That gets me in. I'm obeying the law. That keeps me healthy. right? That keeps me safe. But I'm justified by Yahushua. And that's what Paul was trying to tell you. Like, man, anybody who seeks to be justified by the law. He's saying that to the Gentiles because the Gentiles are being told on one side, you got to be circumcised. They've been told on Paul, like, I never talked to you about a circumcision. Then that's why you see Paul goes later on. He say, look, to be circumcised or not circumcised don't mean nothing. So it's not wrong to be circumcised, right? He said whether you circumcised or not, that's not gonna get it for you, because that's under the law, and the law you ain't got no law that ever told you if you do this, you will make it into the kingdom, or if you don't do this, you going to hell.
You just said you live long in the land.
Watch this. Keep going.
You did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth?
Mm-hmm.
The persuasion comes not of him that called you. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. I have confidence in you through the Lord that you will be none otherwise minded. But he that trouble you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be.
Mm-hmm.
And I, brethren, if I yet preach circumcision, why do I yet suffer persecution?
Mm-hmm.
Then is the offense of the cross ceased. I would that they were even cut off which trouble you.
Mm-hmm.
For brethren, you have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion of the flesh, but by love serve one another.
Mm-hmm.
For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you bite and devour one another, take heed, be not consumed one of another. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the lust of the flesh...
Grab 3. Goodness gracious, I can't find what I'm looking for. There's some good stuff we covered though. But let me see here. This is Galatians 3.
O foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you that you should not obey the truth,
Uh-huh.
before whose eyes Yahushua has been evidently set forth, crucified among you.
Uh-huh.
This only would I learn of you. Receive you the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith?
Right? So he's trying to let them know, it's like, okay, look, I understand that our people are coming to you, right? You got Hebrews. These Hebrews are coming to the Gentiles. You got to understand, like, this is a big thing, right? You got Hebrews that accepted Yahushua and that obey him. And it's like, okay, I'm followers of Yahushua. I'm a disciple of Yahushua, right? So they Hebrews. For us, that's an easy transition for the most part, right? Because all we doing is saying, okay, I already keep the law. That's standard. These are the law of my nations. So it's like, that's standard. You ain't even really got a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what happens. I keep the law. Not a big deal. I already don't eat pork. I already don't eat shellfish. This is already, you can't even buy none of that stuff around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just natural, right? It's not even a big deal. So for us, politically, that's nothing. It's just like, okay, Yahushua, he said, love everybody, all right? Or love your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, our law is already telling us to do that anyway. Be baptized, okay? That's new, right? Stop cussing, okay? That's new, right? So it's like some of these things that new, he's like, okay, all right, well, let's do that then. We're going to roll with that. So now I'm following Yahushua. It's really just a couple new things on top of it. Not a huge deal, right? You never see Yahushua tell you to stop doing anything, like stop keeping the law or stop. You never have that. So for us, that's not a conflict. It don't mean anything. It's like, let's do it. Okay, I had these 2, 3 new extra things on top of it, and I keep moving, right? And now I just focus myself and I realign myself according to what Yahushua is looking for. Now my hope is that Yahushua is going to come back in the resurrection and raise me up. That's the saving hope for us. Well, then you take our people, we never considered, right? It's never even a thought to us to stop doing the law. So if you take us out and then you show us a Gentile and you give us the exact same message that Yahushua got, then it's the same for them, right? If they looking like, okay, I do all these things or I don't do all these things. Okay, I got to tweak a few. Okay, I got to stop, you know what I'm saying? I got to stop doing this. Okay, I can't have no more sex outside of my marriage. I can't get, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So they stop doing anything. So you look, these people got the exact same message from Yahushua, right? But because of my tradition, in which Yahushua is built off of, has a lot more requirements of me than your tradition, then we put it together and it's like, oh wait, hold on, we doing 2 very different things. So us as Hebrew, we like, wait a minute. Listen, we can accept Gentiles, but every Gentile that ever came by this body, they had to be circumcised, they had to keep the law of Moses. That was a conflict for us. The conflict wasn't exposed when you only talking to Hebrew, because it's a no-brainer. It's like, why we even, what do you mean? Why we even talking about what we gonna eat? That's disgusting. Ain't nobody gonna eat no pork. You know what I'm saying? It's like, It's crazy. Like, you don't even need to talk about that. Because, of course, we wasn't going to eat no pork. Why would that even come up in the conversation for Yahushua when he was walking around Yisrael? Right? It was no reason to talk about what you don't, but you have to stop. It don't matter. Like, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? All I'm telling you is this is what you got to do to make it into the kingdom. That's what Yahushua's message was. Same message goes to the Gentiles, but they don't have that tradition. They're not built off of our book. Right? They're not built off of the commandments of the Most High God. So there's a whole lot of stuff that's left off. But Yahushua didn't require those things that was left off in order to be justified. Right? So when our people start seeing, now wait a minute, you trying to say they accepted just like us, but they not keeping the law of Moses, that's a problem for us. And naturally it would be, because it wasn't clearly explained by Yahushua, like, oh, well, no, this is the only requirement. I ain't telling y'all to stop doing it. I'm just saying this is what's required to be justified. Yahushua didn't clearly explain that. The apostles were trying to explain that now. But they talking to the Gentiles, and they giving the Gentiles from their perspective. Like, listen, this is what you need to do. This is all you need to worry about. Don't worry yourself about getting circumcised and all that stuff. This is what you need to worry about. Just do what Yahushua said. Right? So he's trying to explain that to the people and make sure they understand it. And that's what the people is in the middle, like, well, I got these Hebrews over here telling me I got to be circumcised, and they believe Yahushua too. And they do believe Yahushua. Then I got over here, I got these people trying to tell me that I don't need to get circumcised. And you say you believe Yahushua. Matter of fact, you the one who taught me about the man. It's like, goodness, great, I don't know. I just want to be a part. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to join the crew. Right? So it's confused. Right? So this is what Paul is fighting against right now. Watch this.
Have you suffered so many things in vain?
I'll tell you what, you ask any of these Hebrews to try to explain why, you know what I'm saying, why Paul, they ain't gonna be able to do it. They ain't gonna be able to do it. Most of the Hebrews, they try to, oh man, but no, Paul, you know what I'm saying, see, Paul was just kind of doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be able to explain, they gotta throw Paul away. Because can't nobody explain, like, because they don't understand what's happening. A lot of these Christians, definitely, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gotta talk about no Christian. But these Hebrews do not understand what's happening. They don't understand the dynamics. They kind of look at it as, so you got to keep the whole law, because they thinking about it as we Hebrews now, Hebrews who just learned that we Hebrews. But if you look at it, what? It's a reason why the law it's not emphasized, because that's natural state for us. Yahushua didn't have to come and teach the law. Matter of fact, the man told you, he said, go do what the law say. He ain't even got to explain it. Go do what the law say. Go do what Moses told you to do, because that's natural state. You know what I'm saying? We getting punished in our land for not doing the law. Yo, but walk in there, report somebody beat your butt doing that. What's wrong, boy? If you don't get that stuff out of here, what's wrong with you?
Not keeping the Sabbath.
Yeah, try your butt not keeping the Sabbath. They gonna stone your darn butt. That's our national law. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, it just ain't no like philosophical, like, oh, I just got it in my heart type thing. No, it's like, oh no, that's what you gotta do. That's equivalent to jaywalking. You know what I'm saying? Like, something's gonna happen to you. You know what I mean? So when we look at it, it's like, no, you don't have to bring those up. You don't have to have those discussions. But with the Gentiles, that's where all this stuff start coming up, right? Let's see.
He therefore that ministered to you the Spirit and works miracles among you, doth he it by the works of the law or by hearing of faith?
Mm-hmm.
Even as Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. And the scripture, foreseeing that God would justify the heathen through faith, preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed.
Mm-hmm.
So then they which be of faith are blessed with fruit, faithful Abraham. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. For it is written, cursed is everyone that continues not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them.
Right? So that's what the law says. The law tells you, if you don't continue in all things to do it, you're cursed. So when you work the law and try to be justified by the law, if you have not done all the law flawlessly, right? If you haven't kept the law and therefore are not condemned by the law, if you are condemned by the law, this is the condemnation. You're cursed, right? But watch what happens if you're not.
But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of God, it is evident. For the just shall live by faith.
He said the what?
Just shall live by faith.
The just shall live by faith. We went all this way, and this is one thing I was trying to get to, really. The just shall live by faith. Right? Watch this.
And the law is not of faith,
And the law is not of faith. Watch this.
But the man that does them shall live in them.
That's a quote. Right? The just shall live by faith. So if I want to be justified, how I got to happen?
You gotta do the law.
I got to do it through faith.
Anybody that does, well, the law, the man that does them shall live in them. You know what I'm saying? But that only Yahshua is able to do that.
That's only Yahushua. But the just shall, if you want to be justified, the only way to do it is through faith. The just shall live by faith.
Yeah.
Right? And what is faith?
Hope for the resurrection.
Faith is hope, right? And hope is something that you what?
You gotta hope for it. You gotta attain. It's something that you don't have.
Something that you don't have right now. So the book say live long in the days, live long days in the land. I got the land right now. Right? The time that we looking at. You know what I'm saying? I got the land right now. Right? So it's this is what separate. He's trying to let you know it's like the things that are in the law, that's not really faith. Like I'm trying to let you know, like, you know what I'm saying, like the promises of the law are different. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have those. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to tell you the just though, the book or the law already told you that the just or the book already told you that the just is gonna live by the faith. And what I'm explaining to you is that faith that the just is gonna live by. He's like, but to show you that the law is not of faith, it says what?
The just shall live by faith, and the law is not of faith, but the man that does them shall live in it.
The book say in the law, the man who does these things shall live in them. So if you put those two quotes from the law together, the man who does these things shall live in them, and anyone who doesn't continue in all of them is cursed. That gets everybody except
Only one
Yahushua.
person. That weeds out everybody.
Everybody except Yahushua. That means I start to do the law, I sin. That got me. I'm cursed. So that means the only person is the one who doesn't sin at all, which is Yahushua. That puts him in the position where the book, the law itself promised that you will live. Read it one more time.
The man that does them shall live in them.
Period. So now that's why Yahushua can say, I lay my life down and guess what? I pick that thing right back up. What's wrong with you? Because the Most High God made a promise to him according to the law. So now, according to the law, he's not supposed to die.
Yeah.
Period.
God has to bring him back.
So this man giving his life for all of our sins, but really he's not supposed to die. So guess what? Dang, I gotta raise you up on the third day. How'd that happen? Like, how you die? Dang, all right, I just go ahead and let him sit there a couple days, pick him back up. I owe him that. If I'm God, if I'm the Most High, and I tell you, you do all the law, you'll live. Period. You live in that. Don't even worry about it.
Somebody just come and kill you.
Somebody didn't knock you off. Like, oh crap. Oh, texting. You know what I'm saying? How that? All right, go ahead and rewind. Pick him back up. You know what I'm talking about? God wasn't paying attention. Oh, y'all don't believe me when I say God wasn't paying attention. All right. So when Yahushua was up there, what did he say?
Why have you forsaken?
Right.
The man had to turn his face from it because that's not supposed to happen. The man looking at it like, oh no, you supposed to live. Yahushua had to call it out like, oh, he ain't looking. He ain't looking right now. Why you leave me alone? Because that wasn't supposed to happen on his watch. Then it happened, he like, all right. I mean, in a technical sense, we know it's supposed to happen. But in the technical sense, in the technicality of what the law say, he's supposed to live.
Well, they don't even know how God literally said everything and set everything up first before he even came on the scene. Because people just look at it like, oh, Jesus, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third guy just lifted him up and that's it. You know?
Yeah, like it was just like, oh, it just happened. No. Do you understand? Like this thing is meticulously put together, rules in place. Everything got to follow its own order, and everything worked that way.
If you ask somebody like, why did God have to bring Yahushua back?
It wouldn't be because he loves us. They should give us some too. It's like, goodness gracious, the Most High God sitting out working, your butt don't even appreciate what's happening right now. This man laid a whole plan out for us too.
It's like he takes his word so serious. No one bothers to read it. Yeah, so the man literally operated everything based off his word. You know what I'm saying? Based off his word.
And that thing just go. People ain't got no teacher. All right, let's go back to John 10. We did all that just to, you know what I'm saying, kind of get to. That's why Yahushua was able. Like, he's not saying, like, all these things that Yahushua, you know what I'm saying, when he be talking tough, when he be doing this thing, like, I'll lay my life down there and pick it back up. Like, all this stuff he's saying, like, you can find why he has the authority to do these things. Like, all of it's in the book. You could pinpoint it and be like, okay, why would he do that? No, that thing, he covered in the book. You could look at it and be like, no, I'm supposed to be able to do that because I fulfilled this. And I did this. Most High God said this. Most High God, all this, basically what it is, all this was technically available to any one of us. Right now, if I woke up and I just like, boom, and I just didn't sin my whole life, this is technically available to me. In theory. In theory, if I got into a car accident, but I had never darn sinned, Most High God got to lift me back up. Right, that's what the theory of some people saying was like, well, baby, you know what I'm saying, when a baby died, you know what I'm saying, you remember they used to say, do a baby go straight to heaven? Or is that and the other? That's kind of where that theory come from, because Christians looking at it like, well, this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying, like the baby didn't do nothing wrong, so is God punishing the baby and sending the baby to hell, this, that, and the other, da, da, da. Well, that's kind of how that theory works. It's like, okay, well, hold on. If this baby committed no sin yet, do we gotta, it goes back to what we read that last week. Most High God say, well, the souls are mine. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's get something straight before we get started here. All the souls are mine. I do what I want with them. Right? That thing still apply. Keep going, let's see.
No man takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again.
That's right.
This commandment have I received of my Father.
That's right.
There was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these sayings.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them said, he has a devil and is mad. Why hear ye him?
They call him crazy. When they say mad, they talking about you crazy.
Man, crazy. Why even listen to him?
All right, keep going.
Others said, these are not the words of him that has a devil.
Mm-hmm.
Can a devil open the eyes of the blind?
Mm-hmm. Because they're going back, remember what we read last week. Right? They look like, nah, that don't make sense to me. Keep going, watch it.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
The feast of the dedication, that's talking about what they call Hanukkah today. You know what I'm saying? So they're talking about the feast of dedication. So he is, you know what I'm saying? It was the feast of dedication, it was Hanukkah, you know what I'm saying? And it was in the winter. Watch this.
Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Mm-hmm.
Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, how long do you make us doubt? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly.
Right? They looking like, all right, so I see you hinting at it. Right? But he ain't came out and just said, publicly at least, he ain't came out and just said, hey, I'm the Messiah. But everybody whispering like, man, this might be the Messiah, this, that, and another. His boys talking about he the Messiah, this, that, and another. They're like, all right, so how long you going to make us, you know what I'm saying? How long we just going to be arguing about this and we all, can you just, elephants in the room, are you the Messiah? Just tell us. Right? Let's see.
And Yahushua answered them, I told you, and you believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't believe, because you are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
My Father which gave them to me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I and my Father are one.
Look at that.
Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. And Yahushua answered them.
So you remember, right? We talked about this 2 weeks ago.
He said before Abraham was.
During that conversation when he said, before Abraham was, I am. You remember, he said, my Father is God. Right? And now, a little bit later, right? A couple days later probably, the man come back and he say, I and my Father are one. So he's telling you I'm one with what?
God.
So of course the people gonna pick up stones and try to kill him. They remember this conversation they didn't ask the man, was he God? They asked him one question. Tell us plainly, are you the Messiah? You gotta understand, like you have to analyze Yahushua and be like, okay, if Yahushua wanted to keep the peace, if he just wanted these people to be saved and convince them that he could have very easily been like, yes, I really am the Messiah. Let me show you in the book what proves that I'm a Messiah. He could have tap danced for these people. If I was not the Messiah, I can tell you your future. I can tell you your past. He could have did all this stuff. It's all within his power to do. But he didn't. Instead of answering them plainly like they requested, the man chose to go to them and tell him that he's one with God. What reaction would you expect? These are people that doubting that you the Messiah. They don't see the Messiah as being God. They see the Messiah as just being some figure that has power.
Like in Judges.
What?
Like
Yeah, somebody that's going to redeem.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you look at this, and I ask you very plainly, first, I got doubts that you even the darn Messiah. And what we think of the Messiah now is different from what they would have been thinking of Messiah
they're
then.
looking for like a Gideon.
They looking for a Gideon. You know what I'm saying? They looking for somebody to come in, a Ehud. You know what I'm saying? Come in and swing the bow. You know what I'm saying? Looking for somebody to go ahead and take the dagger. You know what I'm saying? Let's get them. Get these darn Romans. That's all we looking for. We ask you, I got doubts that you even that. And I ask you, just tell me plainly if you that. The man come back to me and be like, oh no, I'm God. Of course I'm gonna stone you. It's just important to understand, like, this is who we dealing with. We're not dealing with this Jesus that these people been trying to teach us. We dealing with this man. This man look you in your face and provoke you, set you up and put you in a trap. Now these people are throwing stones at the Son of the Most High God. That's a trap. You understand that? Like, that's a trap. You're trying to kill the Son of God. But you doing it all under pretenses that are just in your mind because the man just said he's God and that's unbelievable to you. And he didn't explain himself.
And in our law, we were supposed to kill anybody.
You supposed to, that's blasphemy, period. That got that. We didn't even got to get it, but Moses gave that commandment. You remember the boy? It was a Hebrew woman. Right? A Hebrew, what's the book say? And she had a son, and her son blasphemed.
Oh, that's right.
They went to Moses. They said, okay, well, how should we handle this? So Moses went to the Most High God. Most High God said, oh, we might got to get it. Where is that? Where is that? We might got to get that. Let's try. Give me Exodus 16. Is it 16? It might be numbers, though. It might be numbers. But let's try Exodus 16. 15. Exodus 15 is when that's when we singing and dancing with Miriam. 16, it's early. It's like right when we came out of, you know what I'm saying? Right when we came out of Egypt. Let's try Exodus 16. Give me verse 1. We got to get it real quick.
And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God that we had died in the land, by the hand of the Lord in the land.
Scan down a little bit. That might not be it.
I don't think it's in here.
It might be numbers. Oh, no, it's Leviticus 24.
I'll never.
Yeah, Leviticus 24, verse 10. Every now and again, you just got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, they gotta be sneaking them things in. Like, yeah, you thought it was right there.
Yeah, buddy. It's Leviticus chapter 24, verse 10.
And the son of an Israelitish woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel, and this son of the Israelitish woman and the man of Israel strove together in the camp. And the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of the Lord and cursed. And they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Dibri of the tribe of Dan. And they put him in ward that the mind of the Lord might be showed to them.
Mm-hmm. So they wanted to hear what God thought about this. Right? When they say the mind of the Lord would be showed to them, they look like, okay, well, let's see what God think about this. Because he's definitely Egyptian, right? Because his daddy was Egyptian. They looking like he's not our people. Right? Let's just get that clear. He's not our people. I don't care if his mama is Israelite. That's like, this is what get these Jewish people out. Because they say your lineage is passed down by your mama. Right? They look at it, they look like he's not our people. That's why they called that out. Like, man, he a son of the Egyptian. All right. But his mama from Dan. All right, let's talk about it. Right?
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Bring forth him that is cursed outside the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him.
Mm-hmm. So now, anything that you say against the Most High God, that's what you get. If you make yourself equal with God, what you've done in our minds is you brought God down. Right? You're saying I and God are one. Well, boy, you ain't nothing. Right? So now you saying God ain't nothing.
And you saying you God. And I don't know, you don't look like my God. And my God said anybody that said that worship other gods to stone.
That God.
So you're not talking about my God. You obviously talking about another God. And anybody serving another God in this land.
That's two laws I can get you on.
Yeah.
You brought my God down, which is blasphemy. Right? And, or you talking about another God. Either way, guess what I can do? Stone your butt. And that's lawful. So it's a trap, right? It's like the man could have easily just was like, listen. I want you guys to understand. At the end of Luke, right? We ain't got to grab and get it. But at the end of the chapter, end of the book of Luke, he goes through the whole scripture with the disciples. He said, started with the law and the prophet. He showed them everything in the book concerning himself. Do you understand that? The man took him through the whole book. Like, yeah, that's me. That's talking about me. That's talking about me. When we were talking about, that's me too. That's me. That's me. It just went through the whole book trying to explain it to him. Like, it's everything in the book concerning me. He could have sat down with these people and did the exact same thing. He did it. In the book, he done that. Why didn't he do that here? You have to, we have to stop and be like, maybe we dealing with something that we don't understand. Like they're talking about these Christians. Maybe we don't understand exactly what we're dealing with. If the man wanted to, he could have. But he didn't want to. He preferred to tell them that he God knowing how they were going to react. It's a trap. We can't be out here getting trapped. That's all. Right. There's a lot of people out there that's just falling for the trap. Because they got this view of God like God would not trap. It's like the man spending the whole book telling you that's exactly what he would do. And that thing just going right over your head because somebody didn't confuse you so much that even though the man is warning you that he's going to trap you, you think that God would never. And the man said, you reading it when the book telling you hearing they would not hear. I'll be like, when a Christian read that, I wonder what are they thinking when they read that? Like, what do they think that means? When he say hearing they would not hear and seeing they would not see. In their mind, they like, those Pharisees. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they think in their mind, not realizing that line wasn't directed at Pharisees. That was talking about the followers. But, people don't get it. People not being taught this stuff. This stuff, man, this is the bread and butter. This is Yahushua. As much as these people, what would Jesus do? And all that, you would think you would hone in to what he actually did and try to understand why. Like, why? Like, let's just say you don't even have a background of understanding what the prophecy says and how the Most High God said that he's taking a limited amount of people and he's setting a whole bunch of folks up. Let's say you didn't even understand that. And let's say you didn't understand when Yahushua essentially said the exact same thing in Matthew chapter 13 and Mark chapter 4, right? Let's just say both of those you didn't necessarily catch it. At the very least, you should have to ask yourself, why in the world is he reacting to these people like this instead of just telling them exactly who he is? Like, why isn't he just telling them? Doesn't he want everyone to be saved? So why, if we know that he wants everyone to be saved from a Christian standpoint, we know he wants everyone to be saved. This is what I would do if I wanted everyone to be saved. Why is he doing something different? That should tell you, I am not aligned with God. You know what I'm saying? That should tell you just right there, I'm just not aligned with God. These people won't admit that they're not aligned with God. And that's the problem. Let's go back. It's John chapter 10. Let's try to finish this off.
I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. And Yahshua answered them, many good works have I showed you from my Father.
He's like, look, there's a whole lot of miracles I done did. Which one you gonna stone me for? Let's see what he said.
For which of those works do you stone me?
He's like, which one of these miracles you about to stone me for? He looking like, in other words, he's saying, what I do? You know what I'm saying? They picked up stones to stone. He said, I am the Father of one. Oh, wait, hold on. All these miracles I did, which one? He messing with them. Like, it's just like comical. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, which one of these miracles you gonna stone me for? Watch these boys.
The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that you, being a man, make yourself God.
Like, what you mean? That's why they call the man crazy. Like, this man, like, you're crazy. You talking about I'm stoning you for doing some good works? No. Boy, you just called yourself God. Which is disrespectful to God, which is blasphemy then. You look at blasphemy. Blasphemy is actually, when we look at blasphemy, you could blaspheme anybody. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who talking, crazy, cussing, or disrespecting somebody, that's blasphemy. Blasphemy is just disrespect. Right? So disrespect to God is very easy to do if you compare yourself to God, because basically you have to bring God down. That's why blasphemy is usually associated with the Most High God. Keep going, watch this.
And Yahshua answered them, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods? If ye call them gods unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken, say ye of him whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world, thou blaspheme, because I said I am the Son of God. If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though you believe not me, believe the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him.
All right, so he coming back at him. He's like, okay, hold on, but don't our book say that we gods? You know what I'm saying? If I'm coming along and I'm doing the works, you know what I'm saying? I say I'm the Son of God and I do the works, you didn't got to believe me, just believe that he's messing with them. Right? Because let's look at it. Check the reference there for
Psalm 82.
Let's see, Psalm 82. This is Psalm 82. Watch this. There's a lot of people. You got to be so precise with this book, man. There's a lot of people that take this and they run with it. See, we gods. Jesus just said it. Jesus just said we gods. We gods. Okay, let's see where Yahshua quote from.
God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods.
He judges among the who?
Among the gods.
Watch this.
How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said you are gods.
He said, I have what?
I have said you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. You shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, and judge the earth, for you shall inherit all nations.
He said, I have said ye are gods. And then what else?
And all of you are the children of the Most High.
And all of you are the children of the Most High God. But what's going to happen?
You shall die like men.
That got that.
He said, you are peculiar people, a kingdom of priests. But instead, y'all chose to die like men.
And you shall die like men.
I tried to hook y'all up.
You look at it.
Y'all broke the covenant.
He's messing with them with that. He's like, oh, didn't the Psalm said we gods, right? What you talking about? He telling them, y'all gonna die like men. He's messing with them. Let's see. Keep going. You know, to wrap up, they getting loud down there. I can't yell at them like the kid. You know what I'm saying? That's my mama. You know what I'm saying? That's my mama. I can't yell at them like the kid. They about to get yelled at, though.
But if I do though you believe not me, believe the works, that you may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him. Therefore they sought again to take him, but he escaped out of their hand, and went away again beyond Jordan into the place where John had first baptized. And there he abode. And many resorted unto him and said, John did no miracle, but all the things that John spake of this man were true. And many believed on him then.
So you see it, John, everybody looking at it like, listen, John didn't do no miracles, but we believed him. And then we look at the man that's doing the miracles, and everything that John was talking about is lining up with what he's doing. People putting two and two together like, yeah, man, this might be the guy. Right? This might be the guy. So as time goes on, he convincing more people, and he also making more people even more angry. So it's causing this huge divide in our land. And I'll tell you, that's what led to us getting kicked out of our land. Right? From a natural standpoint, the Romans saw this divide. The Romans come in and try to settle divide. When Romans come in and try to settle divide, they see that, oh, this is a problem. People reacting adversely to the Romans now. After the Romans get touched, they like, okay, no, y'all butts gotta go. Right? It's over a span of years and years and years. But that's ultimately what happened. So next week we'll probably jump into Luke 10 before we go into John 11. But we'll jump to Luke 10 and kind of read through 10 and probably Luke 11 maybe. And then we'll come back to John 11 and make our way through the book. You know what I'm saying? We still got a bit to go, but we're going to cover the whole gospel. You know what I'm saying? This whole gospel. And make sure people understand, you know what I'm saying? Well, this like, you talking about Yahushua, this is who we dealing with, man. We not dealing with this stuff. We not dealing with the guy that they present to us, man. The guy that they present to us is an imposter. It's nothing, man. If you look at it, he's nothing like what we actually read. It's nothing like it. And these people presenting you feel like it's fact. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus just walking around, oh, let me wash your feet and this, that, and another. It's like, man, y'all take all this stuff all out of context. This boy light your butt up. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting here trying to set people up and trap them and all types of stuff. You don't walk to the man with a humble spirit, a humble heart, that man will light your butt up. You ain't darn sharp as a tack when it comes to it. You ain't going to be able to handle it when he start trying to set you up. All right? All right. Well, any questions? Let's pray out.